All right, welcome back to the Daily Brief. Of course, we have been covering a couple of topics that have been trending for the past few hours on Twitter, including this very important one, now taking you to sports, where Kenyan Premier League Gor Mahia yesterday evening terminated the contract of former Kenyan international captain known as Dennis Oliech over gross misconduct. Now, according to Gor Mahia, the official website stated that the club has discontinued Oliech's contract due to serious and persistent cases of misconduct. So yes, we'll be taking you directly to our Twitter, where we've got a couple of messages that have come in on the hashtag Dennis Oliech that has been trending. Now let's take a look at what you've got to say. At Bushmaster_15 says, Oliech is so indisciplined and has lots of pride. He wants to be treated like a king in the team. Do away with him completely. Now that's something that Gor Mahia will have to respond to. We've got at Ngukumbute who says his time is up. Time for the young tags who are talented as well. Moving on, we've got another one that's come in from at Kolo Mwenyewe who says, we used to sing along to Manyake as kids and here we are functional adults. The government should let youths prosper. Now I think that is a tweet that is from the discussion we're having on hashtag Ezekiel Mutua. Well, moving on, we've got at Hapa Kaka who says, Dennis Oliech should be advised to take the FIFA football coaching. Hapa ndio pesa iko and Africa clubs would need him. Moving on, we've got another tweet that says, from at Oyuga Mark, who says, I think Dennis Oliech hasn't done anything wrong at Gor Mahia. The club doesn't want to cater for his costs. Now, apart from this, there has been a few allegations of him not answering to calls. Apart from that, there's also been an allegation of him showing up late to almost all his training sessions. So yes, those are a few of the things that have led to the decision by Gor Mahia to terminate his contract. Now moving on, at Maura Joe who says, this should also be the right time for him to retire. It's about time. About time we move on to the next tweet from at Imtiaz_Hassan, which is, by the way, on the next hashtag which has been trending, which is hashtag Somalia. Now, of course, there was a Twitter debate yesterday on the poll numbers from Census 2019 of how many Somalis, of course, are present here in Kenya. Now, the population figures have always been a bone of contention in this year's census as well, because Somalians have claimed that in 2009, 10 years ago, they were miscounted, and this year they claim there are more than 5 million. So let's get right into your tweets. At Imam Adil Khan who says, someone tell these doubting our people tyranny of numbers to come and see one Somali man having more than 59 kids. Moving on, we've got at Imtiaz_Hassan who says, Kenyans should know that we Somalis give birth every single year and some of us are blessed with twins. Those are blessings in abundance indeed. Moving on, we've got at Khalidin Ali who says, we need to go back to our native villages, mobilize the nomadic masses that have not yet heard of census and have them counted. 5 million strong. And of course, those are a couple of things that were being discussed yesterday. Remember, some of the Somalians are not able to read and write. Some of them live in areas where census has obviously, enumerators rather, have not yet reached. So that is a couple of things that were being stated as to why they've been miscounted. At Mohammed_Degel who says, statistically and truly, Somalis are more than 5 million. Census enumerators should do their work fairly and smoothly. So maybe that's a couple of things that we could be talking to our enumerators, who will also be having a discussion with later on in the show, and ask them a few of these questions that are being asked. We've got at Asmali77 who says, if after this hashtag Kenya Census 2019, Somalis are not among the top 3 communities in Kenya, I know it was just a sham exercise. Well, Samuel, what are your thoughts on some of these tweets that are coming in regarding hashtag Somalis at 5 million?
I believe that hashtag, particularly as it is, and as you've sampled those particular responses, is the fact that there's a lot of opinion leadership. Right. In pursuit of agenda setting role of the media, in this particular case social media, because there's a preamble to it, and that is the 2009 census, where actually the results from Northeastern were largely contested, and to some point the president had to nullify those particular results from the census process and actually order a new exercise to be conducted within those regions. And over the this 1 year, we've seen Aden Duale come to the forefront and talk about the Somalis and the census process, especially in the northeastern region. So could this be a way of sort of propping up a conversation around the intended results when the National Bureau of Statistics is ready to release those particular results? We can only wait and see, Shiksha. We can only wait and see, but we trust and believe that the enumerators and the government will do justice to this exercise. Remember, it is informing a lot, not only the national planning over the next 10 years, but the delimitation of boundaries that is coming up in a matter of time, because IEBC is supposed to do that 12 months before the general election, and therefore this particular results could inform a political interest or political concern first before it actually informs a national planning concern. But all these and much more, we believe we shall be following up for you right here at K24 TV. But right about now, let's bring in our reporter Kigotho, who's joining us live from Nakuru County. And of course, still we maintain the momentum on referendum, the need for it or the need not to have it, courtesy of the fact that promulgation of the 2010 Constitution happened 9 years ago. In fact, exactly 9 years ago. And I would like to bring in Kigotho for a feel from residents of Nakuru County in as far as this particular issue is concerned. Thank you for joining us, Kigotho. What do you have for us this far?
Sam Joroge, it's true. We're coming to you live from the CBD, Nakuru County, where we are joined by the residents of this great county of Nakuru, who are saying that they have mixed reaction as per whether the constitution that was promulgated in the year 2010 has helped them to achieve their goals, their dreams, even in their growth. And currently, the promulgation of the constitution brought in 47 county governments that are manned by the governors and a score of MCAs. And we have women representatives, we have senators, and we also have deputy governors. Are these leaders representing people? Some are arguing that they are overrepresented. Some are saying they have been represented by over 21 people who are earning salaries from the government, and they are saying that is a burden to them. Others are saying, despite the burden, they have seen growth, they have been calm, the government has come to touch with them. And maybe not to speak on their behalf, I want to join them now in this discussion. It's going to be a hot discussion. Be ready, because they are ready. Now, joining me is one of the most revered analysts. Maybe you can introduce yourself and tell Kenyans, are we in the right direction when it comes to the referendum?
Yeah, my name is Eliasif Magoma, Chairman of Nakuru Residents Association. Now, the promulgation of the Constitution 2010 was indeed a good idea. But then currently it has been defiled by those ones, by the implementers. For example, devolution. When it comes to the case of devolution, it was a good idea. But then we see the way the governors are misusing money. They are putting some cronies in the county. Tenders are being given to their cronies. In fact, there's a lot of corruption in the counties itself. However, in some other cases, for example, freedom of expression, freedom of speech, and some other areas, at least we are well represented and properly instituted in another way around. Now, tukikuja tu kabisa kuangalia vile wananchi wanaangalia na hii katiba, mambo ya mashule, uliona there must be free and compulsory primary education. Now see what's happened. Watoto wanafukuzwa, hakuna vitabu, hakuna chochote, pesa hakuna. Now what we need most now, hii katiba ni mzuri, lakini the implementers wale wana implement hii katiba ndio sababu imekuwa mbaya, tunaiona ni mbaya. Otherwise we are happy with this constitution. Tuko na madawa kidogo kidogo katika hospitali. Now what we need now is more money in the counties. The true devolution ambayo iko kwa katiba yetu, tupate pesa kwa katiba, tutumie sisi kama wanchiko hapa chini, tupate madawa hospitali, mashule, iwe na vitabu, tuwe na vitu mingi katika ambazo tunafurahi sisi kama counties and some other areas of local representation. Na vile tunaona tu saizi mambo ya judicially tukiangalia tu kabisa kulingana na katiba haijakuwa mzuri. Judicially tumeona vipengele mbalimbali zinavunjwa. So we are not happy with judicially in this constitution. So some few elements in the constitution that this must be looked into. Otherwise we are happy with this constitution. Thank you.
Miaka 9 ya ugatuzi tumeona kwamba kuna wale ambao wanataka kubadilisha katiba iweze kuwa aidha ya kupunguza mzigo na kuna nyingine ambayo ni ya kuunganisha Wakenya wanasema ni BBI. Je, tuko tayari kubadilisha katiba ambayo tulipitisha miaka 9 iliyopita?
Mimi naitwa Robert Jenga. Na kwa maoni yangu mjadala kuhusu kurekebisha katiba haufai. Kwa sababu hatujatekeleza katiba ifaavyo. Tumetekeleza 30%, tumebakisha 70% ambayo hatujatekeleza. Haswa kuhusu leadership and integrity tumeona viongozi wakivunja. Hatujaona tume ambayo inahusiana na maadili na ufisadi ikiingilia. Kwa hivyo tunasema kwamba hatujatekeleza katiba. Tuitekeleze kwanza, kisha baada ya miaka ingine kama 5 ama 20 vile tuseme tunataka kubadilisha nini. Lakini hatuwezi tukabadilisha kitu ambacho hatujatekeleza tuone kama ni kizuri ama ni kibaya. Chapter 6 tumeisuspend kama taifa. Ndio unaona kuna ufisadi katika counties. Unaona hata contractors wenye wanalipwa ni wenye wako karibu na mwakilishi wadi ama ofisi ya governor. Tunaona wakati wa transition kutoka kwa ile the first county government to the second county government, wenye walikuwa na kisua kwamba wamekaribiana na mwenye alitoka hawakulipwa, walikawia kabla walipwe. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu tunakosa maadili.
Kama kijana ambaye unaishi katika kaunti ya Nakuru, je, unahisi kwamba nyinyi kama vijana kuna wawakilishi wengi sana ambao wanawakilisha ama wale wako tayari?
Nadhani kwa majina naitwa David Kibe, na mimi nikisema kuhusu hiyo, sisi kama vijana tumeona haki yetu hatujapewa pale. Kwa sababu tukiingia katika ile county kuna zile tenda tunaambiwa ni za vijana. Sisi huwa hatuzipati. Zile tenda huwa zinapewa wale watu wako karibu na wale magavana, aidha ni watoto wao, aidha ni wale watu wenye wameajiriwa kule, wanalete vijana wao ndio wanapewa zile tenda. Kwa hivyo sisi kama vijana tukiangalia hii katiba tangu itengenezwe ama tangu ianze kufanya kazi, pia ijakuwa ikitusaidia. Tunaambiwa kila ministry ama katika ofisi zozote kuna ile nafasi ya vijana, lakini hatujaona ikitumiwa mzuri. Pia vijana wale wako na zile qualified document. Ukipeleka pale lazima uwe na mtu mwenye unajuana naye, lazima uwe na pesa, lazima uwe na ile pesa yenye utahongana naye ndio upewe ile kazi. Kwa hivyo vijana wengi unakuta pale mashinani wanaumia, hawapati zile kazi, hawasaidiki kwa sababu hana pesa. Pia tena ukienda pale kuomba ile kazi kama sisi vijana, tunaambiwa kuna nafasi zetu pale. Ukienda kuomba kazi unaambiwa let experience, tuambie umeunda barabara ngapi, tuambie umeunda majumba mangapi, tuambie umefanya kazi hii miaka ngapi, tunataka experience. Sasa tunashindwa hii experience tutatoa wapi kama hawatatupea ile kazi. Sisi vile tungeomba, tungetaka kupewa zile kazi ndio tuwe na experience. Yeah.
Pengine wewe kama mfanyakazi wa bodaboda, je, ni mambo yapi ambayo mnapitia?
Kwa majina yangu naitwa Joseph Msani kutoka Nakuru. Sisi mashida yenye tunapitia kwa watu wa bodaboda especially kanjo. Kwa sababu kanjo anakuja na kupata umesimama hata kwa na nini sticker ya kanjo wanakushika unaona. So mimi kwangu harassment ya kanjo ndio inakuwa mbaya sana kwa wasa pikipiki. Na sana sana pia kwa watu wa soko kama mahokas. Jana niona wengine ameshika gari mbili unaona. So sisi vijana watu angalia sana.
Sam Joroge, I think we need a baraza in Nakuru because the comments that we are getting, the multitude that we have, even the numbers that are here, women, men, young people, even children, they want to give their views on various things that that are affecting them. They need a platform that is going to air their grievances, and that's why K24 has been raised to the power of 24, and we will be holding a baraza in consultation with the CBD community, so that at least every Wednesday we have a baraza, so that we can be able to listen to them and then we can be able to air their grievances. From Nakuru County, my name is Kigodho Mwangi. I take you back to Sam Joroge for more briefing.
Thank you so much, Kigotho, for that. Indeed, a briefing powered to 24. And as those issues are being raised right there in Nakuru, is it a question of the constitution or constitutionalism? Remember, in 2015, there was a social economic audit that was conducted on the 2010 constitution. Findings to that particular document still remain to be something that the nation has not consumed as of now. So what exactly will guide the discourse towards a referendum or even amending this particular constitution? Well, only time will tell, even as we weigh in various proposals from Third Way Alliance, from BBI, and from other quarters up, and including what you will be telling us right here on the Daily Brief. But for now, we need to cross over to Mombasa, that telecommunications conference that is currently ongoing, and listen in to what various speakers are saying at this particular event.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Guest of honor, Mr. Ngene Gituku, the chairman of Communication Authority of Kenya, acting director general of CA Kenya, Madam Mercy Wanjau, my learned sister, director of AFRAD, Mr. William Baraza, the executive secretary of IACO, Dr. Ali Simba, art representative, Mr. Balo, distinguished delegates, ladies and gentlemen, protocol observed. On behalf of the members of the AFRAD Governing Council, I would like to thank you, guest of honor, for accepting to officiate the opening of the 58th meeting of the Council, despite your busy schedule. I would also like to convey my profound gratitude to the government of the Republic of Kenya, and in particular, CA Kenya, for hosting the 58th AFRAD Governing Council meeting in this wonderful city of Mombasa, and for their reserved hospitality extended to all delegates since our arrival, as well as the great ambience of the hotel, which is a perfect choice for the venue of our meeting, and the magnificent facilities put at our disposal for the smooth conduct of our meetings. Over the past 2 days, members of the Governing Council were busy with committee meetings whose debates were quite lively, deliberating a number of pertinent issues which concern the fulfillment of the purposes of AFRAD and its long-term sustainability. The reports of the committees will form the basis for discussions of the Governing Council meeting and decisions that will be made, therefore. There is no doubt that the existence of AFRAD is as relevant today as it was before, almost 4 decades ago, when the idea of setting up such an institute was first mooted by the founders of OAU, now AU. The fact remains that it made sense for a continent to establish a training center such as AFRAD to provide affordable training courses in the capacity building workshops and seminars customized to our unique needs and the specific situation that face Africa. Capacity building in telecommunications and ICTs has become more relevant as we experience rapid growth in the use of technology in the fourth industrial revolution. AFRAD, therefore, must position itself to respond to the current and development environment in which technologies and trends such as the Internet of Things, robotics, virtual reality, and artificial intelligence are changing the way we live and work. AFRAD has training programs, among them being Cisco training, which commands significant numbers as it is the main training activity popular among the youth, both high school and university-going students. AFRAD was able to register a significant number of training activities in Huawei programs. It is anticipated that there will be a lot of growth in the area, especially as the demand of Huawei certification increases in response to the growing application and procurement of Huawei enterprise hardware and software in the region. child online protection has yet become a critical issue in the age of proliferation of smartphones with internet access. AFRALT has designed programs to assist institutions and the regulators to develop systems and the processes for children while they access online content. AFRALT is at the forefront in delivery of capacity.
Right, and that is exactly what is happening at the Communications Authority of Kenya, where not at CAK rather, but this event that has largely been sponsored by the Communications Authority of Kenya. And basically it's a conversation around telecommunications and merging of infrastructure to ensure that Africa as a whole is able to integrate and use that particular platform for the better of this particular continent. It is the story of the event that takes us to a break right here on the show. We return with much more.